Before we hop into this week's game for the Broncos franchise, let's go over some players who the Broncos re-signed this week. The first being Brandon McManus, the 96 overall kicker, was already on his last year of his deal, so we gave him a 4-year extension. He has 5 years remaining for a total of $12.9 million. Next guy, Demaryius Thomas, the 96 overall wide receiver, was re-signed for a total of 7 years. He already had 1 year left, so after this year, he was re-signed to a 6-year extension for $69.3 million. And then the third guy was Malik Jackson, the 90 overall right end, who was re-signed for 4-year extension, 5 years total, and $22.6 million. In Week 9, the 6-2 Denver Broncos traveled to Indianapolis to take on the 3-4-1 Indianapolis Colts. Start things off early first quarter, Broncos with the ball. Peyton Manning hooks up with Demaryius Thomas, picks up a first down for him. The newly re-signed to a long-term deal, Demaryius Thomas. So now down on the 24-yard line, Manning drops back, fires on the flood route, and picks up Latimer on that reception. He gets inside the 10-yard line. They would settle for a field goal, though, as McManus, also newly re-signed, was knocked down the field goal. 3-0 Broncos lead, and then the Colts take over. Andrew Luck facing the former Indianapolis Colts great and Peyton Manning, as Luck hooks up with Dante Moncrief over the middle, gets down to the 23-yard line. And then 3rd and 9 on the 22 now, as Luck drops back, lobs it up to the end zone, and Moncrief comes down with it over 2 Broncos into the end zone. Dante Moncrief touchdown, and the Colts strike first. It's 7-3. Well, they strike for the first touchdown, correction. So then the Broncos take over later on in the first, as Manning hooks up with Demaryius Thomas, and he only has one man to beat, but that man pushes him out at the opposing 22-yard line. Big rack there from Demaryius Thomas. They would hand it off to Anderson on the goal line, or pitch it off to him on the goal line to get into the end zone, and they jump out in front 10-7. So now skip things over to the second quarter as Andrew Luck finds Dante Moncrief over the middle, who would get some rack on the play, gets down to about the 16-yard line as he's taken down. They would settle for a field goal from Vinatieri, however, as they tie it up at 10. So then the Broncos take over with 5:54 left in the second and 13. Manning hooks up with Davis in the flats. He would take down off the sidelines. He would finally get pushed out, or tackle from behind, correction, at the 34, however. And then later on in the drive, it's 2nd inches on the 24 as Manning finds Ronnie Hillman coming out of the backfield. He would get down inside the 10, taken out at the 5-yard line. Very next play there in the shotgun. Manning trying to convert for a touchdown here, but he throws a bonehead pass. It's picked off by Dejon Smith, the rookie out of FAU, as he takes this one all the way back. The 20, 15, 10, 5 touchdown Colts, and the Colts get on the board with another touchdown, and they're in the lead by a score of 17-10. Skip things over to the third quarter. Broncos tacked on a field goal while we were gone, as it's 17-13 now. Colts still in the lead as Luck avoids 2 sacks and somehow finds T.Y. Hilton on that play. And then now they're in Broncos territory on the 38. Play action. Luck fires to the end zone. He has Moncrief. That's his second TD of the day. Dante Moncrief puts the Colts up by a score of 24-13. Then the Broncos take over. Manning hooks up with Demaryius Thomas. He has running room, but he's finally tackled down from behind inside the red zone at the 18-yard line. Very next play in the shotgun still. Manning drops back, hooks up with Benny Fowler coming over on the drag route. He would get into the end zone. Touchdown Broncos as they make it a 4-point game. It's 24 Indianapolis, 20 Broncos. Then the Broncos with the ball later on in the third. Manning hooks up with Sanders. He's going to have himself a first down. And then, later on in the drive, they're on the 38 inside Indianapolis territory as Manning to the sidelines has Andre Caldwell. He's got himself a first down, and now Manning inside the red zone on the 9-yard line as he throws a dime to the corner, and Vernon Davis tippy-toes it to stay in bounds. Touchdown Broncos. They're in the lead 27-24. But we'll pick things up later on in the fourth after Indianapolis ties it up at 27 with the field goal. Broncos with the ball now as Manning finds Latimer on the post sideline route. He's out of bounds, so then later on they're on the 30. Manning drops back. He finds Vernon Davis, pushed at the 12-yard line. 3rd and 15 now as Manning tries to hook up with a wide-open Demaryius Thomas, but he overthrows him. They would have to settle for a field goal as McManus knocks this one down. The 96 overall kicker makes it a 30-27 Broncos lead, gives Luck the ball with about 3 minutes left and time to drive down the field as Luck takes off for a first down. He gets the first down with his legs there, crosses into Broncos territory. Now 3rd and 14 on the 35. Luck needs a first. He gets it, hooks up with Kobe Fleener, the former Stanford Cardinal. Hurry up offense, 1st and 10 on the 19. Luck drops back to the end zone for his man, but it's picked off by Aqib Talib. The Broncos seal the deal as that is the dagger in the Colts' coffin. Aqib Talib picks it off with a minute left in the end zone. They would run at the clock as that is how the cookie crumbles. The Denver Broncos come away with the victory here in Week 9 over the Indianapolis Colts by a score of 30-27. Indianapolis falls to 3-5-1, and Denver improves to 6-2. Some big receiving days for each team here as Demaryius Thomas had 11 receptions for 151 yards. Vernon Davis had 5 receptions for 103 yards and a touchdown, while Peyton Manning threw for 416 yards, went 30 for 37 with 2 TDs. And then even on the Indianapolis side of things, Dante Moncrief had a huge day, 7 receptions, 185 yards, and 2 touchdowns, but it just wasn't enough to overcome the Broncos. As with that being said, that'll wrap things up here for this Week 9 matchup. Don't forget to tune in next time here for Week 10 as the Broncos travel back home to play host to their interdivision rivals, the Kansas City Chiefs. I've been your host, Jerseyborn, and I'm saying goodbye.
Our good love when we're all alone.